Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, from whichever part of the world you may be joining me from. This is Growth Habits with Ngozi, and I'm your personal guide on the journey of growth. I'm so excited to be here this afternoon once again. Thank you all for all who joined me. I am so blessed to have you. So blessed to have you. I can't even fully explain how blessed I am that you all decide to join me every Tuesday right here on Facebook. So, who is here with me today? Who is here with me this afternoon? Please introduce yourself. Let me know where you're joining me from. Let me know how your day is going. For those that are in the Americas, in the United States, yes, happy 4th of July. Today is the 4th of July, and today is the day you celebrate your independence. So happy 4th of July for all those that are in the United States. For those of us in Nigeria, how is it going? How is your day going on so far? I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. I trust that you had a good weekend and that your day has gotten off to an awesome start. Happy new month, because yes, I've shared it on the group, but then I've not said it to us physically. Happy new month. Welcome to the second half of the year. This year is truly flying by. It looks like it's just yesterday we said Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and now we are in July. So happy new month and welcome to the second part of the year. I want to believe that we are doing great things already. Sometimes we put pressure on ourselves when we begin to hit this second part of the year. We begin to think, I should have done this, I should have done that, I've not done all I need to do. I have so much undone. But just before I go on with what we have today, I want to encourage us and let us know that you have tried. Maybe you've not achieved everything you want to achieve. Possibly you've not achieved everything that you planned. There's still so much left undone. But I want to let you know that even that little that you have done is enough. Sometimes because we don't really sit down and check all that we have done, we don't sit down and write it out, we don't realize how much we have done. We don't realize how much we have achieved. We don't see all that God has done through us. So I will encourage you today, just take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever you need. Sit down and just try to enumerate all the things that you have done this year so far. All the things you've been able to achieve, all the things you've been able to, strike off your to-do list. Just take a minute and consider them. You will see that you have done a lot. You have achieved a lot. And even if, when you look at it, it doesn't really look that much, it's still something. It's still something. So, happy new month, and I am assured that as we go into this 7th month, as we move into this second part of the year, anything that was difficult for us previously will become easier. Anything that we struggled with before will become easier. I didn't say it will be easy. There's a difference between saying that something will be easy and that something will be easier. So it will be easier for you to achieve things this second part of the year, as long as you're intentional about it, as long as you put in some effort into it. There is no effort that we put in that is completely lost. Something always comes out from it. So welcome to July. Welcome to the second part of 2023. Wow, like I said, before you know it, it's December once again, and we're, Merry Christmas, and before we know it, Happy New Year 2024. So welcome to Growth Habits once again this afternoon, Growth Habits with Ngozi. Yes, we're all on a journey to grow. and we're on this journey together. Yep, every day, every Tuesday, we're here, 12 noon on Facebook Live with Growth Habits with Ngozi. So this month, we've been dealing, or this period, we've been dealing with growth in our emotions, emotional growth, and we concentrated on emotional intelligence because that is truly the way to experience growth in our emotions, possessing emotional intelligence. We started off with just a general discourse on what is emotional intelligence, and we agreed that it basically includes our ability to recognize, our ability to interpret, and regulate our emotions as well as the emotions of others. That's generally what emotional intelligence is all about. And we, after the general introduction, we began to look at the different aspects of emotional intelligence. We decided to take them one by one, and the next session, which was our session 23, we talked about self-awareness. If you are not aware of who you are, what you feel, why you feel what you feel, the tendency is that you can't go far. So that is what self-awareness is about, the ability to recognize and understand our own emotions. Why am I feeling this way? What is it about what this person said that bothers me? Okay, so that is self-awareness. Mike Opene, welcome. I'm glad you joined us this afternoon. I trust you're having an awesome day where you are. Yes, welcome. After the session on self-awareness, the next session, the 24th session, yes, was on self-regulation. And self-regulation is not just knowing your emotions, but being able to control them. Being able to control your thoughts, being able to control your emotions and your behavior, being able to control them. That is self-regulation. So it's not just enough to know your emotions, to know why you feel how you feel. You have to be able to control them and not allow them get out of control. Josephine Obinawama, thank you for joining me this afternoon. I'm so glad to have you. I hope you're having an awesome day where you are. I hope you're having a glorious day. All right, so in continuation of our recap, after that, our session 24, good day, we had our 25th session, which was on empathy. Yeah, and empathy is so important in emotional intelligence. Thank you so much. Thank you for saying I look beautiful. I try my best. Thank you. So empathy, that was our session 25, and it's just basically our ability to understand another person's thoughts and their feelings, and to basically put ourselves in their shoes. That is what empathy is all about. It's not the same as sympathy. It's not the same as sympathy where, we just feel for the person. Yes, empathy makes us step into that situation with the person. And then we don't just feel for them, we look for how to help. That is empathy. That was our last session. So today, our session 26. Honestly, sometimes when I see these figures, 26, 20, it marvels me, because if anybody had told me at the beginning of 2023 that I would be here doing live sessions on Facebook discussing things that I didn't even think I knew much about, I wouldn't have believed it. But here we are, session 26. So, and we are talking about social skills today as an aspect of emotional intelligence. We know social skills generally, but how does it work in emotional intelligence? Does social skills have anything to bear with emotional intelligence? Does it apply in any way? Does it help us in developing emotional intelligence? Does it help us in living out our lives being emotionally intelligent? And the answer is yes, for sure. Definitely, social skills are relevant in emotional intelligence. And basically, it's your ability to interact with other people. Yeah, your ability to build meaningful relationships. It's not just to build relationships. As it regards to emotional intelligence now, your social skills is your ability to build meaningful relationships with others. And to be able to understand others also as you build that relationship. Favor, welcome. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I trust you're having a great day. Please let me know where you're joining me from as you join. And even for those that will watch this on the replay, please do let me know where you are joining me from. Thank you. As they say, please and thank you. So, yes, we are talking about social skills as it relates to emotional intelligence. And as I said, it's not just that you're able to relate with people. There are some people that make friends easily, almost instantly. But it's not just about making friends. Social skills, as it relates to emotional intelligence, is not just about making friends. No, it's about establishing meaningful relationships with people. Because truly, there are people that, like I said, they make friends easily. Before you say Jack, they've made thousands of friends. They walk into a room and everybody there becomes their friend before they walk out of that room. But does it end there? Is it taken further? Do you go ahead to develop that relationship? Do you go ahead to extract the best from that relationship? Or does it just end with, I know this person? Yeah, so developing social skills as it relates to emotional intelligence is being able to develop to build meaningful relationships. Okay, from Port Harcourt, yes, Mike, welcome. From Mboaba, he was very specific, from Mboaba, Port Harcourt. Thank you for joining me this afternoon once again. So the ability to build meaningful relationships with other people, whether they are people you work with, people you meet in your daily activities, people in your church, people in your neighborhood, building meaningful relationships that last, relationships that have value. That is what social skills basically talk about. As I said from the beginning, there are people that make friends easily and there are those that don't. But it's not, like I said, it's not just about making friends. It's not just about making friends. It's how far do you develop that relationship? There are people that are friends and that is it. I would not even know whether the word friends would adequately describe that relationship. They're just acquaintances because I know you, you know me, and that is all. I can't say anything more. I don't add any other value to your life, and you don't add any other value to my life. We just know ourselves. That is not building a social skill. Knowing such people or being able to establish such relationships is not what I'm talking about in building social skills. It's getting to know people. Yes, making that attempt to know people, doing your best wherever you are to connect with people, but also being able to ensure that that relationship is value adding and value giving. Value adding and value giving. So that is truly what social skills talks about. And it includes being able to influence the people that are your friends positively. We're not talking about influencing them negatively now, but being able to be persuasive and being able to influence those people that you call your friends, those relationships, being able to understand, or do I say to read? Yeah, I think that's a better word. To read the situation, the emotional currents in a room. You walk into a room, for example, like I think I said this the other time that I was telling my mom that if I stay with someone for, let's say, 5 minutes, I'm able to read their emotional currents they're giving out to me. That one, truly, I don't even know how I do it. This one, I can't even say that it's something I worked on, it's something I practiced, but once I sit in a room for 5-10 minutes with one or two people, I'm able to read their emotional currents. What are they giving out? Because most times, what happens to me a lot of times is when maybe you ask me, oh, this person, this person, this person, and I describe to you, and I'm like, oh, this person, they seem not friendly or something of that nature. People are always surprised because it's quite accurate. It's quite accurate. And it is an aspect of social skills we need to develop in order to operate in a good level of emotional intelligence. Being able to read the emotional current in a room. Or when you're with some people, it might not be the whole room, you might not be able to read the whole room, but you should be able to read the emotional current of those around you, even if you don't know them. See, that is the difficult part, even if you don't know the people. So, but it's better for people that you know. And why it helps you that when you enter a room and you're able to read the emotional current in that room, you'll be able to know who to connect with and who not to connect with. You would know the people to build this relationship with and the people to just keep at acquaintance level. Truly, there are people that are not meant to be closer to us than just basic acquaintances. There are people that the extent of our relationship with them should be at the level of acquaintances. There are people like that. And there are people who we must be able to go deeper than just acquaintances. And the skill is to know the difference. The skill is to know the difference between that person that is meant to be just an acquaintance and to keep them at that level, and to know the ones that you're meant to go further with. Let me just give us a quick example, maybe because of just yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, one of us put up a post on Facebook talking about model sisterhood. And as I saw that post, I began to think, because like I think I've said it here severally, I don't make friends easily, truly I don't. And I'm learning, still working on it. But I know that I don't make friends easily. But from the first time I was introduced to that group of persons, there was just this feeling or this current of welcoming. There's welcoming feeling around this group of people. These are diverse kinds of people. It's not as if they are the same kind of persons. It's not as if they are like, there are some people you meet and almost everybody has a similar characteristics. They are not. They're actually not. This group of women that make up this model sisterhood, they are as different as you can imagine. They are the ones that are out there. They are the ones that are quiet. They are the ones that if they start talking, you have to beg them to stop. They are the ones that hardly say anything, all in this group. But from the first time I came into contact with these people, I felt comfortable. Which is rare. I am telling you, it is rare for me. It is a big deal. It's a big deal because I don't relax and be comfortable with people so easily. But immediately I came in contact with this group, I relaxed. The things I'm able to say in that group, I shock myself because I can't say it to most people. I can't say it almost any other place. I'm able to open my heart in that group. And this is something that I could have easily missed. It would have been so easy to miss it. If not that, I am able to an extent to read the emotional current in a room. I'm able to understand the emotional current in a room. I'm able to know that this set of persons, they're meant to be acquaintances. This set of persons I'm meant to be friends with. This set of persons are friends of a season, or friends for a reason. There are people who are your friends for a reason, and once that reason is done, it's finished. I have several of such people that I thought initially they were going to be my forever friend. I believed, wrongly or rightly, that they were going to be my forever friend, and I followed up that relationship with that mindset. This person is going to be my forever friend. And along the line, things change, situations change. We are not enemies. We are not, quarreling. There is no issue. But the reason for their being my friend had expired. And that is another aspect of social skills. Being able to know when the time, the season for a relationship is over, and move on without quarrels, move on without issues, move on without having some kind of rancor attached to it. This is something that I think women most, I don't know about men, I'm not a man, but I don't think that men really have this issue. But we women, we find it difficult to break relationships without fights, without quarrels. I've tried to talk to a couple of people, and I find that each time there is a break in a relationship, there's some kind of rancor attached to it. And it shouldn't be so. There are relationships that's just for a reason. Some are for a season. I'm sure we've all heard these things. It's almost cliche these days. Some friends are for a reason, some for a season, and some for a lifetime. But it is actually true. And the beauty of social skills is to be able to know which relationships are which. And also, even for the friendships or the relationship that's just for a reason, to be able in that period that relationship is ongoing, to be able to add value, take value, ensure that it is fruitful and beneficial to all parties involved. Social skills as an aspect of emotional intelligence is not easy, it's not simple, but it is something that would make your life so much easier. Truly, very much easier and more relaxed. Because when you do understand that, this relationship is just for a season, and when that season is rounding up, you can comfortably, and I don't know whether easily is the thing, but somehow easily remove yourself from that relationship without there being a complete breakdown of the relationship. So one of the aspects of social skills as a part of emotional intelligence is being able to read the emotional currents in a situation, the emotional currents in a room, and then being able to fine-tune your reactions, your connections, your everything that has to do with that particular relationship. Another aspect of communication of social skills is communication skills, and that is being able to listen, being able to also talk and convey your thoughts properly. Being able to convey our thoughts properly is something a lot of us struggle with. We might know what we want to say is in our head, and but by the time it comes out from our mouth, it sounds different. I don't know if it has happened to you that you've prepared, what you're going to say to someone, how you're going to deal with a particular situation. You've prepared it in your head, but by the time it comes out of your mouth, it sounds so different. And unfortunately, it's so easy for the other person to misunderstand what you're saying and where you are coming from. But part of having social skills as a part of emotional intelligence is that ability to speak the right things to the right persons at the right time. The ability to speak the right things to the right person at the right time. So it's not just to talk. Like I think, was it last week I mentioned this? People that say, oh, I have to tell it as it is. No, you don't. No, you don't. Having good social skills is being able to pass across an information to someone, probably something that ordinarily would have sounded bad, let me use that expression, but you're able to pass it to that person, and the person hears and understands. For example, you want to correct someone in something they did you felt is wrong, or even if it's something that hurt you or something that you just feel this is not right, this is not the right way to handle this situation, and you want to discuss it with that person, you want to pass it across to that person. There is a way that you will pass across that information and the person will just be hurt. That is all you achieved. You just hurt that person's feelings. But there's also a way to pass across the exact same information, probably even using the exact same words. It's possible using the exact same words, and the person is lifted. The person sees the point in what you're saying. So social skills includes that ability to communicate with people, to listen first, because we can't really truly communicate with anyone if we have not listened. If you don't hear the person where they're coming from, you might not know how to tell them what you need to tell them. So first, listen properly. Listen, active listening. Don't listen with the point of getting your next argument. No. Listen, truly listen with your heart, listen with your ears, listen with your eyes, listen with everything, okay? And then being able to pass across the information you need to pass across to the person without hurting them. We're talking about social skills as an aspect of emotional intelligence. Okay, so the next thing, or the next aspect of social skills is, I want to call it conflict management or crisis management, is your ability to work out disagreements, the ability to resolve disagreements. Conflict management is hard. It's hard to be able to bring to fore disagreements without being disagreeable. Is a skill that, including myself, I've not conquered. I'm still trying to work on. I'm still trying to understand, not even just work on. I'm still trying to understand it. Being able to disagree without being disagreeable. Being able to find the win-win in every situation. In every argument. I mean, if you say situation, it could be a good thing, but in the midst of a conflict, in the midst of a disagreement, to find the win-win. Because it does exist. Sometimes we think that win-win is a cop-out. It's for, somebody that does not have strong argument skills. You don't have strong skills to argue your point, and so you look for the win-win. It's actually not true. There is a win-win in every conflict. You can find it. You can discover it. There is a way that both parties win. There is a way. It's not a cop-out. It's not a cop-out at all. It's not a cop-out at all. It is a skill that you can develop to be able to find that win-win, that situation whereby nobody is hurt, everybody is heard, and everybody leaves that conflict situation or that conflict, that fiery situation. Everybody leaves okay. I've had issues where, or situations where, in a place of, I'm having an issue with someone, or we're having a disagreement. Let me not even call it an issue. I'm having a disagreement with someone, and in the midst of that disagreement, I kind of like stop. It's weird initially. It's weird initially, but it's how I deal. I stop. I basically end the argument. I don't go any further arguing or making any point or saying anything. I put a stop first. And what that does is that it diffuses the situation. If we were all heated up, all angry, and I'm no longer talking, I'm no longer contributing. So the first thing it does is to diffuse the situation and gives me time to think through what I am going to say next. Because most times the next word you say will either calm everyone down or scatter everywhere. So I take that pause. I just press pause intentionally on the situation, on the discussion, on the argument, on whatever you want to call it. I press pause and I stop. In my head, I'm formulating the next thing to say that will be that win-win. Because I truly believe that every argument, every misunderstanding, every disagreement, there is a win-win situation there. There is something that can be done that everyone will be happy about. There is something. There is a way to end that quarrel. There's a way to end that fight. There's a way to end that disagreement, and we're all okay. We're all happy with it. There is a way. You just have to find it. Just have to discover it. And sometimes it does take that moment of pause, to press pause and diffuse the situation first. Because truly, when we are angry, we don't reason very well. Have you not noticed it? Maybe it doesn't happen to you guys, but for me, when I'm angry, when I'm upset, the things that come to my mind, the words, the actions that I want to perform, most of them are not good. They are not good. They're not good. And so, I do need to press that pause so that I can gather my thoughts, so that I can act rationally, so that my reasoning is not clouded by emotions. Most decisions we take when we're emotional, most of them are not really good. A lot of them, they are not really the best decision we could have taken. But when we just pause and think, we come up with better decisions. So, managing conflicts, being able to find the win-win in every situation is a social skill, and it is essential in emotional intelligence. Okay, another thing that is a part of social skills and emotional intelligence is being able to manage change. Change is constant. Things will always change. Always. Things will always change. But we are not generally good at managing change. We are averse as human beings to change. We are averse to change. We do not want things to change. We want things to remain the same. Because we're enjoying it as it is most times. Things are good. Why change it? Why change a winning team? We've heard that expression. If it ain't broke, why fix it? You understand? So most times we are so comfortable that we don't want things to change. But one thing we can be sure of is that things will always change. And our ability to manage change, our ability to allow change to happen without it affecting others negatively or even affecting us, because it's not just about others now. Our ability to allow change to happen without it affecting us negatively. This does not mean that change does not have some disadvantages. No. There are some changes that happen to us and there are disadvantages attached to that change. But we're able to manage it. We're able to understand the disadvantages and we are able to adjust. We're able to ensure that this change happens and we don't alienate people because of the change. We don't fall apart because of the change. This takes strong emotional strength. It takes truly strong emotional strength. I tell the story of when I stopped working for some years, and initially when I stopped work, I felt within 4 months, 5 months, top 6 months, I would get another job. I was so sure of it. And it didn't happen. 1 year, 2 years have passed. 3 years have passed and I had no job. And initially I didn't feel it because I had saved up some money. So I still had money to spend, I still had cash to meet my needs and do what was needful without having to go to my husband for, my basic needs. And it happened that one day I needed some money to do something. If I tell you the amount, you will laugh at me, but let me not say it on let me not say it on here. But those that know me know this story. And I searched high and low. My accounts, there were no money, nothing. I brought out all the bags I owned this particular day and I turned them upside down looking for money. And I found none. Couldn't find. And truly, this one is very small money. It's not big money. It's not something, not even up to thousands. No, I couldn't find. And that day, I had hit rock bottom, as they say. And I couldn't imagine that this is me. Looking for such a small amount, and I couldn't find it. And I cried. I won't lie. I cried. I wept. I sat on the ground and I wept my heart out. And I questioned God. I questioned everything because it didn't make sense to me that by now I don't have a job. I didn't even really have anything else I was doing that was giving me money at that point. Because I was bent on getting a job. I knew I would get a job, so I didn't really look for any other thing. And I sat on the ground that day and I wept. But because this also has to do with my spiritual life, I had formed the habit of always going to God for things first. But in this case, all this while I didn't go to him because I believed I was going to get a job. There was no need to, what am I talking to God about in quotes? I don't know if that happens to us sometimes. We think I got this one, I have this one covered. No need to trouble God about it. But, here I was sitting on the floor in my house, in my room, crying because of a very small amount of money that I did not have at that point, at that moment. And I cried and I cried and I cried. But in the midst of that crying, I remembered that I need to talk to God about this thing. I remembered, I had forgotten, So I remembered and I was like, God, what is happening? Why am I in this situation? Why is it like this with me? What I'm talking about is change management, being able to manage change. And as I sat there and asked God a few questions, I got some answers. But you see, the story is not about the answers today. The part of this story I'm telling is not the answers that God gave me that day. It was my ability to adjust, because things didn't change immediately. Even though He had given me the answer, I had gotten a calm in my spirit that, okay, He's in charge. He's taking care. He knows what He's doing. It's not all about me. I got all those and I understood it. I knew it in my spirit. I knew it in my heart that God was doing something and He would bring me through this. I didn't get a job even after that. I didn't even really still have anything doing. My money did not magically increase. I didn't, somehow money filled my pocket. No, it didn't happen. But I was able to adjust to that situation. I was able to understand within me that, okay, this is it. This is where I am right now. But I can better this situation. One, I can choose to wallow in this situation. Or I can choose to move forward from this situation. And I chose the latter. I chose to move forward. Good afternoon, Kelechi. Welcome. Good afternoon. Glad to have you here with us this beautiful afternoon. So I chose the latter. I chose to move forward from there. I chose to take my mind off the problem and begin to look forward to the solution. And that is what helped me through that season. Till now, I still haven't gotten a job, but I've found other ways. Before now, those other ways were there. They did not magically appear. There are ways that were always in my purview. They were always just there. But they were just also just outside my reach. Because my mind was in the wrong place. So as I came to terms with, okay, this is your situation now. You are not working. You don't have money. You need to do something. As I came to that realization, things to do, I began to see them. But truly, these were things that were always there. They did not magically appear suddenly. They were always there. So our ability to manage change, to ensure that we allow change to happen to us without that change taken from us. Our ability to allow change to happen and without alienating others in the process of going through this change. Ogonna Izenaya, welcome. Good afternoon. Oluchukwu Onwucholoba, welcome. Welcome, good afternoon. I'm glad you joined me this afternoon. We're talking about social skills. And right now I'm talking about our ability to manage change. To be able to go through change and not allow that change to, destroy us. Because change will always happen. It always will happen. But when you embrace it, and you walk through it, you will come out at the other side of that change much better. And when it's in a group situation, maybe in an office, you have to be able to manage change without alienating others in the process. Good afternoon, Ogonna. Thank you for joining me. You have to be able. That is a skill we must learn to develop, because change will always happen. Okay, and remember when I gave the initial definition of social skills, I talked about it being your ability to bond with people, to develop relationships, to build relationships, and not just to meet people. Because most times when we talk of social skills, we think it's just your ability to meet people. You're friendly, you make friends quickly. It doesn't end there. It's building those relationships, building the bonds that those relationships require. So definitely, I'm going to talk about building bonds, being able to connect with people beyond just knowing them, being able to have an emotional link, an emotional connection to someone else, being able to be of value, to offer value, to receive value. Okay, maybe let me be using myself as an example. I offer value easily. It's easy for me to be of value to people, but I don't know how to receive value. I don't know how to receive it from people. I can offer it to people. I can give it out for free. I don't have to charge for it. I give it out for free. Do you need me? I'm there. You're running a program, you need someone to, I am there. You're doing this, you need someone, I am there. But I don't know how to receive value from people. I find it difficult. And it sounds, how do you not receive value? How do you not just take in people's offer of help? It's difficult for me. It's hard for me. That's why I don't ask for help. You can hardly see where I'm asking for help. Hardly. The people that know me know it. I'll do it myself. I can manage it myself. So social skills in relation to emotional intelligence includes being able to build bonds with people, yes, but taking the value that relationship offers. It's not wrong to accept value, to accept help. It's not wrong. Even as you offer it, accept it, to take it in. Be that person that allows yourself to be helped when you need it. So like I was talking about the model sisterhood, I am able to, in the midst of that group of women, say, I'm struggling. Somebody help me. I am struggling right now. It's something I wasn't able to do before. How will I tell you I'm struggling? That means I'm not strong now. That means my guard is down if I'm able to tell you I'm struggling with something. But it is part of emotional intelligence, that ability to ask for help when you need it. It's part of a bonding experience. If you're free enough with someone to tell them, I am hurting, I need help, the relationship is stronger. Unless, the person, there are some people that you really can't tell your weaknesses. I hope we understand this. There are people you should not even tell your weaknesses because they will use it against you. There are people like that. So also being able to know who to share with and who not to share with. Okay, so building bonds with people. Offering value, receiving value. Offering help, receiving help. They're all social skills. And being able to work together with people. Many of us, we don't work well in teams. We don't work well in teams. We're lone rangers. I can do it. And truly, you can do it. It's not as if, you're faltering. You're actually doing it well, doing the work well, getting the job done, all by yourself. But sometimes we need help. Even when we are competent or able to do it ourselves, sometimes we do need to reach out and have others help us. Open yourself up to others. Allow them to come in allow them to take up some of the load from you. This is something I am still working through for myself personally. But I think and I believe I've made quite a lot of progress. Those that lived with me in my younger years, you know that if you come to my house, I don't send you message. I enter kitchen, cook, do the need. If you like, come and learn. If you like, don't. I can't even be bothered. They know. I can't. I don't need your help, really. I can do it by myself, and I do it by myself. But now I'm learning. I ask for help. I allow help, not even that I ask for. I allow help. I allow help. See, I have a witness, Kelechi. She knows. She knows. So yes, building social skills, part of the bonding with people is allowing people to help you. Being able to go vulnerable with people. To say, I am struggling with this or that. No, that is one thing that I think if we had more people that are more vulnerable, and we had more people that know how to handle people's vulnerability, we wouldn't have so many depressed people. We wouldn't have so many people who are, fighting through one thing or the other, and they feel they don't have anyone to help them. But because most times when we're vulnerable with people, they take advantage of those vulnerabilities, we rather keep it all inside. So let's all learn, 1, to be vulnerable, and 2, to know how to handle people's vulnerabilities. Don't take it for granted. Don't, take it as a slight thing that somebody is vulnerable with you. Okay, social skills is what we're talking about. Yes. So how do we improve our social skills? Let me move on because I am running short of time this afternoon. Yes, time is almost finished and I still have quite a lot I wanted to talk about. So let me just quickly rush to how do we improve our social skills? What are the things that we can do that will help us improve on our social skills? 1, when we are talking to people, when we're having discussions, let's learn to ask open-ended questions. Questions that give room for discussion. Let's not just say, hello, what's your name? Yes, the person will respond, my name is Ngozi. And truly, basically, most times, that is the end of the discussion, unless you ask a follow-up question. But when you say, oh, hello, nice to meet you today. So what's your name? What do you do? Or something, or tell me about yourself, instead of saying, what is your name? You understand? If I, in the midst of discussion, I say, tell me about yourself, you're not just going to tell me your name. You're going to tell me your name. You're even probably going to tell me what you do. You might even give me your family history. Because I said, tell me about yourself, and not what's your name. So let's learn to ask open-ended questions. Yes, to be vulnerable and to know how to handle people's vulnerability. Key. Because for me personally, yes, this is very important. Because I believe that I know how to handle people's vulnerability. I try my best. But I sense that people don't know how to handle my own vulnerability, and that is what keeps me closed up. But I found, I'm repeating this sisterhood so much because really they've helped me so much, this group of women. They have helped me because they know how to handle my vulnerabilities. They know it. They don't joke with it, they don't trifle with it, and they don't repeat it anywhere. It's not story to be told anywhere. Okay, so ask open-ended questions. It will help you get to know people better, and it will also help you to gauge the emotional atmosphere. You know, when you ask open-ended questions, like the example I gave, instead of what is your name. Okay. Notice other people's skills as you relate with people, as you interact with people. Try to discover what are their social skills. Notice it, and I don't want, well, yeah, hype it. Let them know that they have these skills. Use it as something that always opens discussions. Use it as something that you use to, make the person feel better about themselves. Understand people's skills and promote those skills to them. Because some people don't know they have those skills. There are some people, they do not understand that they have these skills. So by the time you tell them, it helps them. It improves their own feelings and their emotions and the way they feel about themselves. Definitely improves it. And then it helps the two of you bond. Okay. Practice looking people in the eye when you're talking. This is something that we struggle with in Nigeria. I think maybe probably the whole of Africa, who knows, but I'm sure of it in Nigeria. We struggle to look people in the eyes when we are talking to them because we see it as a sign of disrespect. But it's not a sign of disrespect. It's a way to, there's something that I might be speaking to you now with my mouth and I'm sounding all cheerful, I'm sounding all good. But if you look into my eyes, you see sadness. So practice looking into people's eyes when you're having discussions with them. It will help you gauge where they truly are emotionally. Because the eyes don't lie, the lips can. But generally, it's only hardcore liars, hardcore, that can mask their emotions in their eyes. So look people in the eyes when you're talking to them. Practice active listening. Active listening. Listen to understand what the person is saying. Listen with your ears. Listen with your eyes. Listen with your heart. Don't just listen with your ears. Pay attention to people and get the gist of what they're saying. Watch your body language. Because just like looking into your eyes can tell me a lot about you, the actions you make with your body, the movements you make. I'm talking to you and the whole time your hand is like this. It gives the impression that you're closed off to what I'm saying. So we also have to be careful of our body language, even as we observe other people's body language. But I'm talking to you and the whole time your hands are folded across the front like this. It's an off-putting, it's a defensive mechanism. I don't want you to come too close. That is what it says. So pay attention to people's body language. If I'm talking to you and I'm always, maybe I'm always moving my legs, generally it gives the impression that I'm nervous. Generally. So these little things, practice understanding body language and watch your own body language. It's not just to understand other people's own. Watch your own body language also, so that you don't give the wrong impression by your body language while your lips are saying something different. So, with those few words, these ones are more than a few words, but with those words, I hope that I've been able to make some sense out of social skills as it relates to emotional intelligence for us. I hope that we've been able to understand just a little bit more about social skills as it relates to emotional intelligence. I hope I've impacted something into our lives today. I've given us food for thought, if nothing else, and given us something to ponder on as we try to establish relationships, as we try to establish lasting relationships, not just relationships. We practice our social skills and we exhibit a high level of emotional intelligence. So thank you for joining me once again this afternoon. The link to this video is our Facebook page, our Facebook group, and our YouTube channel. So please click on them, join the group, subscribe to our channel, tell your friends, tell your family members, tell everyone about Growth Habits with Ngozi. We are here every Tuesday on Facebook, 12 noon, every Tuesday. 12 noon, we are here and we are sharing the things that we know, the things we have experienced. Like I always say, I try not to make it too academic with just words and theories. I try to relate it to our real lives, to things that I have experienced, to things I have seen, things that I understand. Yeah, so that it's more practical than just an exercise in let's talk. So thank you for joining me once again. Okay, yes, Kelechi, thank you. Say for the few minutes you were here, you have been impacted. Thank you, and I'm glad. This is why I do it. Oh, thank you. Pastor Emeka, thank you. I'm glad that you joined me this afternoon. So for those that will also watch the replay, thank you for joining me. Thank you for always giving me this few minutes of your time every Tuesday. I appreciate it, and I'm glad and I'm happy that we share this time together. I hope to see you next week, Tuesday, right here on Facebook Live. 12 noon is the time. Thank you so much and have an awesome day. Bye.